Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you. But before I get to the knife that I want to share, I do want to show you this really quick. This is the medium size tactile turn bolt pen. I was picking this up from Thunderbird Gear and I touched base with Steve over there and talked to him about getting a couple things for review. I already had the large of this. I wanted to try the next size down, which actually I like quite a bit. I also picked up that small Timascus bolt, which is rather enjoyable. Anyway, I'll get the pen out of the way. Oh, before I do, I've got a quick question for you. For any of you who are a little more into pens than I am, the insert that this comes with is okay, but this will not take my favorite type of insert, which are the Pilot G2 fine point. That's the 0.38. Those are my favorite inserts to write with in general. They don't have one that fits this pen properly, so I'm toying with maybe cutting one down, or anyway, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but if you've got a good recommendation, let me know down in the comments. Now, let's get to the main event, which is this Curtis Knives F3. Now, I only have obviously one variation. Steve will have a few more on his on the website Thunderbird Gear, so go and check that out. You do get this little pack of goodies here. We've got a certificate of authenticity, a sticker, and a patch. The idea is that the patch fits right here on the pouch. All right, so let's get that stuff out of the way and take a look at the knife in question. So there we are. I'm going to try to do my best to show you the details on this, but I don't know if the camera is going to do it justice. It's absolutely superb, and I'm afraid that it won't come through, but hopefully it will. Try to give you a good, long, close look at this exceptionally well done handle finish. Look at that. I don't know if you, hopefully you can see the blue, I mean the green with the blue kind of shining through there as sort of the base layer. It is absolutely stunning. And then we've got a nice stone wash on everything else except for the flats of the blade, which gives you that nice two-tone finish. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful knife. I'm a big fan of Curtis Knives. I've been a big fan for a long time. I will put a link in the description box down below to a couple of the previous reviews that I have done. I've had an F3 medium before. I've also had a large. I had the large for quite a long time. And Dave changed his design just slightly. I mean, very slightly. Essentially, he's added this little blade insert. There's a couple little things that I noticed. The lock bar access is a little bit different as well. Most other things, though, are fairly consistent from the previous version. And of course, you'll notice one big thing there. Whoops. Try to get it right side up for you. This is in MagnaCut, which is exceptionally good steel. Again, this is not my knife. It's just visiting from Thunderbird Gear. But man, I want a knife in MagnaCut. I'd like to, have all my knives in MagnaCut, but not exactly a realistic option. So let's go ahead and get into the details on this and my overall thoughts. First of all, the size. So this is the medium. It's 7 3/4 inches almost. The blade on this is 3 3/16. It's 4.5 inches when closed. Okay, now only 3 1/8 inch grip area, so that is not ideal for me. I have larger hands, and so I could go with a larger grip space there, but I don't have it here. And then the weight on this guy is 4.6 ounces, 4.6 ounces, which is actually not bad at all. And I will point out one of the things they've changed. I think I can do this. Yeah, you can probably see in there. Maybe not. Yeah, so you can get a good look there. So notice this is milled out to save weight. And that's pretty nicely done. It's milled out on the lock side as well. You can sort of see that too. Okay, so that is another change that is definitely worth noting. I will add that because of the insert, or I mean, because of the cutout in the blade, you can roll the knife open with your thumb, or you can spidey flick, both of which are welcome upgrades to the deployment options. So really, really nice touch there. And those are sort of the few things that I noticed that are a little different from the original. Otherwise, if you've got one of these, if you've had one for a while, if you're familiar with the previous gen, you'll find this is fairly consistent. Now, the one thing that I will say Dave does a really, really nice job of is these excellent, excellent finishes. Again, I tried to show you this before, but I'll give you just a slow roll over the knife. You can see the compound grind here. You've got a Spanto blade shape, all right? Heavy stonewash on the bevels and these great looking satin flats. F3 on this side, Curtis on the other side. We already noted that it's MagnaCut steel. And of course, famously, that giant pivot screw, which is sort of the Curtis claim to fame, if you will. Moving down here, we've got the cross there as the decorative cross there on the pocket clip. I don't know why the word pocket clip wouldn't come to my mind there for a second. I do love that the pocket clip is really nicely finished to kind of go along with the handle. And again, I have to point out just how gorgeous that handle finish is. And, there are a number of variations available. There's a few over at Thunderbird Gear. There are even some of these at White Mountain Knives. If you want to check over there, I want to say that Justin still has 2 or 3 F3s over there, again, with superb finishes. And again, these knives are a little small for me, which is one of the reasons I don't have one. But oh my goodness, these finishes are so, so nice. Now, in terms of complaints, I don't have a whole lot to complain about. I really like the flipper tab. I like the flipper tab on the original, and that hasn't changed. I like the extra deployment options. That is a nice change that I'm very happy to see. There is one little hiccup that this has that I'm not in love with. Now, the MagnaCut steel, again, we love that. But this has just the slightest, almost imperceptible detent lash. And it's very small, but it's definitely there. And every once in a while, I'll notice it. And it's a little bit off-putting. That is honestly a fairly minor issue. All right, I'm not going to be too concerned about it. In use, you would never notice. The reason to me that it stands out is because this is a pretty high-end knife. You're putting out quite a fair dollar amount for this, and for that I expect perfection. I really do. I know I know knife companies will always say, well, that's within spec and da, but within spec has to be perfect at this price point, right? There can be no compromises allowed. And that does offer a little bit of a compromise that I wish wasn't there. It's not a huge thing. Again, if this were my knife, would I be trying to sell it or get rid of it or, return it or something? No. Although the other good thing here is when it's a custom knife like this, the level of service that you generally get, and I've had some experience with Dave. I am rather confident that, again, if this was, this would be a knife you could probably get tweaked a little by the maker to make it just absolutely perfect. The other thing is that you can feel the detent ball riding on the blade a little bit here, but that's something that changes over time and with a little bit of lubrication, which obviously I'm not going to do because this is not my knife. The one thing I should point out as well is, let's see if I can show you. Maybe you can see it there. Let's see, maybe from here. There you go. So this does have there, yeah, perfect. This does have a nice detent ramp, which is always a very, very welcome option and a little detail that I love. Okay, so lots of stuff to be really stoked about. And I have to say, this is a truly beautiful, beautiful cutting tool. It's not going to be for everyone. I know custom knives are a very select market, but boy, oh boy, if this was in a large, I would be, probably looking to sell a bunch of the knives off in my collection to be able to get my hands on this. All right, as it stands, it's a little small for me, but it's still absolutely beautiful. And I've had a small before, and I ultimately got rid of it because it was just a little cramped for my hand. All right, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Go check out Thunderbird Gear. Steve's always got some good stuff over there. Even if you're not in the market to spend, I don't know, $800 or $900 on a folding knife, he's got lots of stuff that doesn't break the bank like that. A good example are these tactile turn pens, which they're not too crazy expensive, and I'm kind of tempted to build a little bit of a collection of these because there's an aluminum one and a zirconium one, and frankly, I would really like to own all of them. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check those channel sponsors. That's a huge help, and we will talk to you soon.